Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacciana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home. Today we have a United lighter in a Clearfloat Acrylic display advertising Fire Apparatus Service Company, or FASCO for short. This is a cool old table lighter. I'm not exactly sure of the age. I don't believe that the company is still in business either. I got a message from a gentleman named Steve Weller, voicemail, and I believe also a comment on the website the other day, and he's asking about repairing these. That's what set me down to make this video today, is I was planning on repairing this lighter, which had an obstructed flint tube. Once I got to work on it though, I realized that I could not repair it as I wanted to, so ended up having to just go at it with a rod up the flint tube, which the flint was mainly dust, so that was no problem. And so now we have a nice working lighter. It does have some blemishes. I don't really think I'll be selling this one. Maybe sell it off in a lot of table lighters or something like that that all have blemishes or problems. But anyway, a cool old lighter which I haven't had a chance to make a video on yet, so thought we would go ahead and take a look at it. Has the, I don't know if that's a delivery vehicle or just a vehicle with their advertising on it. I don't know what the point of it is. If that's some kind of a fire truck. Doesn't look like a fire truck to me. It is sitting on sort of a mound of gravel or sand. You can see there on the bottom it says Fire Apparatus Service Company Inc., 59 Brooklyn Avenue, Massapequa, New York, area code 516, and has the phone number there, which I'm not going to be calling. There are a couple of the blemishes, and what really turned me off about the lighter when I received it is that it was missing a couple of the little pedal stools or feet. A couple of them have broken off, so the lighter will not sit evenly. Made me kind of want to break the other two off. Anyway, the question that I got from Mr. Weller was whether or not these lighters were repairable, which normally, and I guess you could say even this one was, it lights right up. But there was a problem, an impediment to repairing this one, and that is that it appears to just be a rivet of sorts and not a screw. There's no way to unscrew that on either side. So I just used, I know a lot of people don't like that video, but I used a rod like this in the chuck of my drill and spun that around in there a little bit to get the, actually I did most of it by hand, then at the end I did spin some of it around in the chuck of the drill. No big deal. That video has a lot of thumbs downs on it, but it has a lot of thumbs up as well, and it's actually my most watched video out of all the videos we've ever published. So anyway, I guess I should explain a little better for the uninitiated. I unscrewed the flint spring screw Since I could not disassemble the lighter from the top, still see some dust coming down out of there. Plenty of dust coming down out of there. Like I said though, I couldn't disassemble it. I just used a length of that same rod and poked around and maneuvered it around and shook it, and dust was coming out. And then eventually, as I said, I put the shorter length of that into the drill and spun it around there and then blew the whole thing out. And while that tube may not be the clearest, there was certainly plenty of dust in there just then. It is now working. But the key to repairing any of these inserts for these table lighters that Mr. Weller was asking about, obviously not anything really going on there, but just a hole ready to receive the actual lighter as far as the base goes. So all your actual workings are here. And he, I believe, asked about the Evans, or maybe I got Evans in my mind somehow. Let me take a look here. What he asked was, I started collecting lucite table lighters and gifting my girlfriend with them. The lighter assembly on most of them separate from the acrylic. Do they make a modern day replacement? Okay, he said a company called Astrolite made a bunch of these. This one is made by United. You see a lot of these same looking inserts that have this mechanism on them. Also the Evans trigger light mechanism. And any of those mechanisms, whether they're made, I don't know about the Astrolite in particular, or specifically I should say. Let me look that one up right quick. And it looks like most of these that I see coming up in a Google search under the Astrolite name are butane lighters. I could be wrong about that. I don't know that for a fact, and I really can't help you when it comes to repairing a butane insert. But as far as the Petrol inserts go, you're basically going to be doing the same thing as when you're repairing any other kind of Petrol lighter. So if it's the Evans trigger light mechanism, then it's going to be the same. You could take that off of one of my Evans repair videos and you should be able to figure that out just fine. This particular mechanism is similar to the Ronson type automatic lighters. So with these kind of automatic lighter, if that fulcrum screw would come out, then you could pull that apart, pull it out, pull your file wheel and all that out of there, and then get it back in. I have repaired these before. I had this same type insert in an Evans pineapple table lighter. I don't believe that it was the proper insert for that lighter, but I didn't know that when I got it. And I did have to clear the flint tube, which wasn't much of a problem. I can't remember now. Seems like it was pretty much straightforward, that it all just fit right back down in there, no problem. But again, as I was saying a while ago, if you can't get the fulcrum screw out of there, then you can always, just following the example of that video that I published 3 years ago or however long it was, send that rod up the flint tube and you know, it may take you some time. You may have to pull it out, shake it, get your dust to come out, blow some dust out. You saw when I pulled that flint screw out a while ago, some dust was still coming out of there. So I didn't get it completely clean or cleared out before I got it put back together. But it is working. So that's the key there. If you don't take the mechanism apart, there's a good chance that you could still get that flint tube cleared out with such a short, it's not like you're going way up in there with that rod. Now back to the lighter in general though. You see these, they're, I guess for the most part, they would be considered advertising lighters. Maybe not. Maybe some of them were just sort of like Scripto views. Not every Scripto view was an advertising lighter. There were, you know, fishing flies in there, or pretty cool advertising. I'm sure you've all seen some sort of acrylic with something suspended inside of it like this before. But anyway, this video seems to me as though I don't really know which direction it's going, and I think that's because this is not a lighter I'm selling. I'm just showing you this acrylic based Clearfloat United lighter, advertising Fire Apparatus Service Company Inc., 59 Brooklyn Avenue in Massapequa, New York. Until next time.